Grassy Key. This is Grassy Key RV Park and Resort. And it is full of expensive rigs and has prices to match. Definitely the most expensive camping we've ever done, but it was all we could find when we were making arrangements to come to the Keys. So
we wanted to stay at the state park. There's several state parks, but they were all full.
Probably full a year before we got around to looking.
In fact, most of the RV parks like this were full.
Yeah, so we're here at this. It's a nice one. It has this nice little marina. And they really shoehorn people in here, but they do a good job of parking you in here. So we're out for our first kayaking trip in the Florida Keys. We're at Sombrero Beach in Marathon. And the weather report said it was supposed to be 10 to 15 mile-an-hour winds, but it feels pretty calm right now. Just kind of a little breeze. So we're about to put in, go over there and paddle through the mangroves and see what else there is to see here.
We go kayaking in the Keys. This water is so gorgeous.
We have a boat over here that's sunk. Looks like a nice one too. Oh. Yeah, look at this. Wonder what happened here.
So we've been looking for this mangrove trail, and I think we just found it.
See, this is getting really tight in here. Not too much farther and I'll be wondering what the point is. I'm wondering that now. There seem to be a bunch of abandoned or kind of derelict boats back here. This was once a proud vessel. Somebody bought this at the boat dealership and drove it home and went out sailing, took their family, who knows what. Now it's been abandoned back here. It's just kind of derelict. Probably stay here till it sinks.
It's so peaceful back here right now. Beautiful. I'm in my happy place. One of them.
The wrong one? She said that,
All sorts of boats come back into these channels. I imagine they come back here for fishing. Probably good fishing back here.
We have a mangrove snapper. This is what our target species is. So you take your target species and you bring them right to you, see?
I'm trying to get one of these little mangrove trees floating in the water here. I think this is a mangrove shoot. The way the airboat driver explained it to us, these grow on the trees and they hang like this until they break off the tree and they fall into the water. And this is not a seed, this is already a new mangrove tree. And they float around, they can float around for up to a year until they come into a place where they can take root. But that's what this is. It was just floating in the water and I picked it up.
area that haven't ordered yet.
I don't know. This is Sombrero Beach. We're back from our paddle. Oh, I gotta turn Strava off. This is a really nice beach. They have a nice place to launch the kayak. This rubber mat that goes down into the water over the rocks so you don't have to drag your kayak over the rocks. Got beach volleyball here. Picnic tables. The kayaking continues at Bahia Honda State Park. This was across the 7-mile bridge, so we got to drive across that. And we're here at this beautiful beach. This is the beach you get to by going to the left. I don't remember what it was called, but the beaches that you got to by going to the right were very crowded or very windy on the Gulf side. So this is much more protected by the wind and much more calm and not as crowded. So we're going to go kayaking here and see what we see.
Heading out for more kayaking today at Bahia Honda. And the water is so pretty. I'm hoping we see some fish over here from the boat.
So this, I guess, is the Atlantic side. I'm not sure exactly where the Caribbean Sea and the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic Ocean all come together. They seem to talk about this as being the Atlantic side, so I guess this is the Atlantic Ocean. I don't know if the GoPro sees it or not. Over there in the distance is, I think it's the old 7-mile bridge because there's a break in it. And you can ride out on it to a certain extent. And then the middle section is all broken down. There's even trees growing in the middle of the bridge. You can't get to that, but you can access either end from either the north or the south. Probably about 2 miles in. And people go out there to fish. You can also just walk or ride your bike or run or whatever. It's a nice protected place to go. No cars to go out into the water a little ways.
So we're putting in under this underpass that's near Robbie's. There was no place at Robbie's that they would let us put in. So this is not the best put in spot, but it's working. And it's kind of rocky. We're trying to get over to that island. It's called Indian Key. And it's actually a state park that you can only get to by water.
We're off on our big kayaking adventure to Indian Key. It's about a half-mile, 3/4 paddle away from Isla Morada or Isla Morada. I haven't yet heard how the natives pronounce that. But it's supposed to be an easy paddle. It's a state park out there. It was a community until a hurricane destroyed it, and now it's just a state park with some ruins. But we're going to go out there and take a look around.
On our way out to Indian Key.
Probably about, what, halfway, do you think? Out to Indian Key?
Yeah. Halfway.
Funny thing is, we can actually still see the bottom out here. So I don't know how deep it is, but it isn't all that deep.
We're almost to the key. Really enjoying this water. It's such a beautiful color. So peaceful and pleasant out here. Oops. I thought I was getting a picture of the surroundings, but it's just getting closer to my face. Brian went out there to see what that sign says.
This is the kayak landing for Indian Key. Gotta run into the mangroves. In the early 1800s, Indian Key was home to around 50 people who basically made their living salvaging goods from wrecks that wrecked on the reefs around Key West at the time. This ended in 1840 when Indian Key was attacked by a large party of Indians. They basically destroyed the town and it was never rebuilt. This is the town square. This was the center of town life on Indian Key when it was a town. Now it's a big open field. The island continued to be used by the Navy for various purposes. In 1935, there was a historic hurricane, after which the island ceased to be used or inhabited, and it's been a state park in Florida since 1971.
We've just toured the island, the Key. A lot of history here because there was old town here.
This dock is nothing but a bird perch now. There's nothing between us and Cuba now, no land that I could see on Google Maps anyway, off that way. Alright. Couple of cormorants, several cormorants.
Nope.